Sounding good. Everyone's awake today. Appreciate we're starting a little later than planned, but executive session was successful. So, if you would, well, this is a regular meeting or special session of the Board of Trustees for North Idaho College. So, a special meeting, and we're resuming again from executive session. I met at 5:01 today, and thank you. The quorum is present. If you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation. Dr. Swain, your point of privilege, please welcome us.
Thank you. Chair McKenzie, before we start this evening, public portion of the meeting, may I be afforded a few minutes of personal privilege to say something about that as a college president?
Yes, please.
So, yesterday, a former employee of North Idaho College sought out Trustee Banducci at his place of business and entered Trustee Banducci's office unannounced, verbally threatened him, and threw a large bucket of water mixed with cleaning chemicals over Trustee Banducci, his desk, computer, and other equipment. When I learned of those actions, I took immediate steps to ensure that those at the college were safe due to the erratic behavior demonstrated by Mr. Schalbetter. I reached out to Trustee Banducci last night to let him know that Mr. Schalbetter was on a one-year contract that ended last week. His departure from NIC had nothing to do with Trustee Banducci or any member of the board or any adverse action. So his actions made absolutely no sense to me. Now let me be clear, violence and physical intimidation are simply not okay, not on this campus and or in any setting. And North Idaho College has zero tolerance for violence, period. And I would say, this is my statement, but already today the faculty assembly got together and approved a very similar message and sent that out. So I just want everybody to understand this is not acceptable behavior. Don't understand what's going on, but it is not acceptable. And the individual is already a former employee of the institution.
To reiterate as board chair, I appreciated the faculty's prompt statements. That's very nice. And I think we all can even agree that even intimidation in one's workplace is unacceptable. The first agenda item, board legal communication and decisions. Is there a motion as recommended by discussed in executive session? If I read one that was discussed at least. A motion to file of non-opposition to Dr. Swain's motion of summary judgment. If there is such a motion, someone would please say so. If not,
I'll make the motion.
Terry makes the motion. Thank you very much. Is there a second before the board?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. And going to discussion. If I may, I'd like to read. On May 4th of this year, 2023, the NWCCU liaison to the peer evaluation team, Ron Larson, he issued a confidential report of findings from the NWCCU peer evaluation team's visit to NIC in late April. The summary of the report provided several comments, including that the institution is actively taking steps to address the show cause sanction. And today we received, after providing feedback, NWCC, the final version that I'm sure will be becoming public soon. The report further noted, I haven't read this, but I've read the draft, that while some initial improvement has been observed, the institution must overcome its current environment of distrust, poor communication, conspiracy, and the debilitating undercurrent of placing the other priorities above those that are in the best interest of the institution. The report tasks this endeavor to both the college president and the board of trustees, stating, The college president and the board of trustees, individually and collectively, bear the great and vitally important responsibility of figuring out how to work together in a spirit of peace and unity to govern the college effectively. Notably, the following day, President Swain filed a motion for summary judgment in his lawsuit against the college. In his motion, the president asked the court to issue an order stating that A, his employment agreement does not contain a provision allowing Dr. Swain to be placed on administrative leave. B, that section 12.2 of his employment agreement provides that Dr. Swain may only be placed on administrative if the employment agreement is terminated by Dr. Swain without cause, and during the 60 days preceding notice to the Board of Trustees. C, Dr. Swain has not given notice of resignation to the board. And D, because he has not given notice, NIC cannot place him on administrative leave. While I believe that Dr. Swain's motion for summary judgment was aimed at increased tensions between the board and Dr. Swain, and may have been an invitation to further the opposition between the board and Dr. Swain, I also believe that the board should not accept this invitation. Rather, upon significant reflection regarding the best interests of the institution, I believe that consistent with the NWCCU peer evaluation report, the board should attempt to work with the president in a spirit of compromise and unity. As such, I recommend that the college not oppose President Swain's summary judgment motion. In other words, I recommend that the college agree to the order requested by Dr. Swain in his motion, so that the college and Dr. Swain will no longer have to engage in a protracted lawsuit and legal battle. I make this recommendation in the spirit of peace and compromise with the great hope that if we can end Dr. Swain's legal battle against the college and hopefully the other lawsuits waged against the college by the Quarterly Press and Michael Gridley, the president and the board can better work together in furtherance of the best interests of the college. While I also do not believe the law requires that every litigation decision by the board in a public forum, I move that the college, so we'll get to that motion. So it's already moved.
We're in discussion.
Yeah. So any other discussion on this topic, or I think we're ready to go for a vote, unless you've written something down and before we just go. So all those in favor of, let me read it before us, to support the motion of non-opposition to Dr. Swain's motion of summary judgment, please say aye.
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 I hear 3 ayes. The chair is going to vote aye. So that's a 4-0 decision. And the motion passes with none away. And I just want to say Trustee Corkle, he was unable to be here tonight, partly due to short notice, and also had a planned medical event of, I believe, surgery, and was unable to make it. So we do appreciate the valued trustee, but wish him well. So there's several other motions coming before the board. So I'm going to read this motion. If someone agrees, then please say so moved. Authorize NIC's board chair to make all legal decisions at the chair's discretion in consultation and coordination with NIC's president and designated persons regarding the existing lawsuits before the college, and have full authority, including authority to delegate this authority on who may speak with the lawyers and or which lawyer they may speak to for whatever lawyer may serve the college both now and for future firms. So this is, if someone agrees with that motion, please.
So moved.
So moved. And if there's a second before on that topic.
I'll go in second.
Thank you, Trustee Banducci. Is there a discussion, or we've talked about this at the, I think enough done in executive session, so the decision's coming out in the public. Let's go to the vote. All those in favor of this motion passing, say aye. I'm happy to read it again if you need, but all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Trustee Zimmerman?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. That's a 4-0 decision again, and none opposed. And we'll say Trustee Corporal is absent. So one more motion. I'm just going to read the motion. Authorize board chair, and at the chair's discretion, the vice chair, authority to release attorney-client privilege documents and executive session information when it comes to any time period associated with Chair McKenzie's workings with Attorney Mark Lyons and President Rick McClendon. If someone agrees with that motion, please say so moved.
So moved.
So moved, Trustee Wagner. Thank you. If there's a second to that motion, please provide a second.
I will second.
Trustee Banducci, seconds. Thank you, sir. Going to discussion. Trustee Wagner, if you don't mind, I'll like to just say some words in regards to this motion. I've said it publicly before, there is lots of information, plenty of people to share an opinion regarding the past 2 years at North Idaho College with regarding to certain individuals. And I just intend to set the record straight and provide NWCCU factual information that still exists under attorney-client privilege, which is why people are unaware when certain things are being drafted. And I was going to say one more thing. I plan to work with the president in drafting NWCCU more information and also the community to be educated. And I just want to say when I think it was Trustee John Getty. He was an appointed trustee when he first got on. When we were in an executive session, and I was able to sit down with him a few times that we were able to connect and share with him a lot of the information that he did not know of the cooperation with ICRIM and a lot of the risk reduction that was done by trustees and that was not reported in the Coeur d'Alene press for whatever reason. That he had self-admitted that there was a lot he did not know. And I feel like that's important for our community to be able to realize that your trustees are hard at work for you. So that was a privilege to connect with another trustee on that situation, as at that time it was appropriate for him to be informed of those things, especially since he was the one going to ICRIM. And sadly, this was done after he went to ICRIM. But yeah, so there's logic to these motions, and I look forward to sharing what I can with the community. Now I have the authority to do so. So naturally, we'll do that with judicial wisdom. We'll try. So thank you. And all those calling for the vote, all those in favor of this motion passing, say aye. Happy to read again if you need.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And the chair votes aye. That's another 4-0 with none opposed present. So without further to do, any last words, or is there any sports events coming up that we can support? Anyway, have a good evening, everyone, and this meeting is adjourned.